जय गजानन। गणेशाय नमस्तुभ्यं। हेरंबाय एकदंतिने स्वानंदवासिने तुभ्यं ब्रह्मणस्पतये नमः। So we'll continue with the Mudgal Puran. We have reached a point where Manu has been created, Swayambhuva Manu, who came, who manifested from the right side of Brahma. From the left side, Shatarupa was manifested. Both of them prayed to Ganesha. Ganesha manifested before them and he gave them powers to procreate. From Shatarupa, the very word Shatarupa means she who can assume 100 forms, 100 different forms. So she multiplied herself into 100 different forms, and that is how the creation got multiplied in such a fast manner. So Vignaraja says, blesses them, saying, "You are." He blesses them with all these all powers of creation. This and the stotra that they had composed in praise of Gajanana, singing the glory of all his attributes, the manifest, unmanifest, the asat, sat form, um, and the Samabrahma, Sahaja Brahma, all of them being aspects of the same one unmanifest Ganesha. They sang this praise, Ganesha was pleased. He blessed them that this stotra that you have composed will fulfill all the desires of his devotees. And you will be united with, ultimately with steadfast devotion, you will be united with Brahma. There is no doubt about it. So Swayambhu Manu was ecstatic and he said, Ganesha, if you are pleased with me, then bless me that I will not be infatuated. Grant me the ability to create the universe, ability to follow my dharma, and capacity to protect my subjects. O Vignesha, whatever I may desire may be fulfilled. So, O revered one, may I reside amongst your devotees. So Ganesha said Tatastu and disappeared. So Manu is a term which is found in all the texts. It is found in all the texts. Manu is a title of the 14 we can say lineages or dynasties for each manvantara, for each duration in a kalpa. A kalpa is one day in the night in the life of Brahma. One day and one night, the two together form two kalpas. So the two together form one. So in that period of time, there are 71 to 71 point something, so 71 or 72 Chaturyugas. Each Chaturyuga is 12,000 years. So when you take 71, 72 Chaturyugas, that is Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So in this duration of time, the 72, there are 14 Manvantaras. For each of the Manvantaras, there is a Manu, separate Manu who manifests. So this goes on. And Manu also evolves. The Manu who was in the first Manu may be different from the present Manu. आज का Manu is Purandara. The Indra is Purandara. So in this Manvantara, which is the 7th Manvantara, which is known as Vaivashvata Manvantara. So these different Manus also will evolve according to the evolution of the universe. So that is why the qualities of the present the Manu will be also different. So now, after now Manu and Shatarupa, it took permission from Brahmadeva, and they ruled the world with dharma and righteousness. Now this Shatarupa had two sons, and 3 daughters from their conjugal union. The sons of the intellectual Manu were Priyavrata and Uttanapada. His 3 daughters' names were Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. All the 3 daughters had beautiful eyes, of course. Then his daughter Prasuti, he was wedded to Daksha Prajapati. So Mudgalacharya is narrating the story to Daksha Prajapati. So Prasuti was wedded to Daksha. Akuti was wedded to a rishi named Ruchi. We saw the story of Ruchi. Earlier, who wanted to marry the daughter of that, and then how Vishwamitra was born. These were the instructions. So then he, Ruchi and Devahuti was married to Kardama Rishi. So these 3 daughters of the first Manu was married to these 3 people. These were instructions were given by Brahmadeva. Brahmadeva only gave these instructions to Manu. And then all of them, these 3 pairs, these 3 couples were ordered to procreate and create the civilization. Kardama performed penance for 100 years and endeavored to propitiate Vishnu. Vishnu was born to this Kardama Rishi who manifested to grant these Brahmin boons. Kardama requested Vishnu, please incarnate as my son. Vishnu agreed and he returned to his abode, Vaikuntha. To fulfill this boon, Vishnu incarnated to Devahuti and Kardama Rishi as Kapila Muni. Kapila Muni, whom we all know, was actually a part incarnation of Vishnu. Then Ruchi and Akuti begot 2 children. Son's name was Yajna and daughter's name was Dakshina. Now these 2 continued the propagation of the world. Then Vishnu manifested as Yajna. Vishnu incarnated as Ruchi's son Yajna in order to fulfill the position of Indra during the Manvantara of Svayambhuva Manu, the first Manu. Yajna married Dakshina. This Yajna, Vishnu who was born, married Dakshina, the incarnation of Shakti, his consort, and begot 12 virtuous sons. These 12 sons were gods. And who are these gods? They were Yamas. They were collectively called Yamas. Later, Yajna observed penance along with his wife and became King Yajna and Indra. King Yajna, this Yajna who was a son of Dakshina was different, and this King Yajna was from the Yajna born of penance. He would always worship Ganesha through the path of yoga. He sculpted an idol of the 4-armed Ganesha with Sphatika, worshipped it daily and with wholehearted devotion. Ganapati was pleased and he manifested before this King Yajna and gave him the entire knowledge of yoga. Consequently, he became a Yogindra, a Ganapatya. A Ganapatya is one who is a devotee of Ganesha, exclusive devotee of Ganesha. So Yajna was to be happily and constantly chanting the mantra of Heramba with devotion. Then Daksha Prajapati, the 3rd son, who was wedded to Prasuti, she gave birth, who was wedded to Prasuti, she gave birth to 24 daughters. 24 daughters, they are all Kalamsha of moon. So you can say 24 daughters or nakshatras, we can say. They were all Amshas of Shakti. They were all Amshas of Shakti and their names were Shraddha, Lakshmi, Dhruti, Tushti, Pushti, Medha, Kriya, Buddhi, Lajja, Vapu, Shanti, Siddhi, and Kirti. These were the 13 daughters of these 13 daughters, he wed these daughters to King Dharma as commanded by Brahmadeva. So all these 13 daughters were married to Dharma. I shall tell you about their progeny. Now, from Shraddha's son was born Kama. Shraddha's son was Kama. Artha was the son of Lakshmi. Son of Dhriti was Niyama. Tushti's son was Santosha. Pushti's son was Labha. Medha's son was Sama. Kriya's son was blessed with two sons, Danda and Samaya. Buddhi's son was Bodha, also known as Apramada. Lajja's son was Vinaya. Vapu's son was Vyavasayaka. Shanti's son was Kshema. Siddhi's son was Siddha. And Kirti's son was Yasha. See, if you see all these names, the Shakti and the blessing that is given by Shakti, Artha. Artha was the name of the mother. Son was Lakshmi. That is your wealth, you can say. Son of Dhriti was Niyama, rules and regulation. Tushti's son was Santosha. Tushti, health. The Tushti Pushti energy thing, Santosh, you get happiness. Pushti's son, Labha. If you get health, you get profit or benefit. Medha's son was Sama. Medha is wisdom or knowledge, intelligence. Sama, that is your balanced. Kriya's son was Danda and Samaya. Kriya, action. Action has two results, Danda and Samaya. Time and punishment. Buddhi's son was Bodha, with enlightenment. Lajja's son was Vinaya. Lajja, you can say a kind of modesty. Vinaya, that is humbleness. Humility was her son's name. Vapu's son was Vyavasayaka, transactional or the business like. Shanti's son was Shema, peace. Kshema, forbearance. So see the names, when you associate the names and the meaning of those names, you will get to know the nature of a person. So that is why even when we name, we just name in Munna, Munni, Pintu, Bubbly, whatever name comes nowadays, we name. But if you give meaningful names, it will reflect the quality of the person, or at least a person will try to imbibe that quality in them. I have to be worthy of my name. So many people we hear, supposing somebody, the son, Tendulkar's son will say, Are, my father Tendulkar was a Bharat Ratna. I should come somewhere near his name. I should keep the respect, the dignity of his name. So we endeavor. If you have a name that has that kind of weightage, that kind of gravity, you will somewhere endeavor to reach somewhere near that name. Because, and another thing is, words have vibrations. Words are sounds, which we repeat every day. We do Nama Japa, Rama's Nam, we do Japa. Why? Because the power of Rama, Ra and Ma, Ra is Radha's, this Mahan, when both together come to this, when we say Ram, it has that frequency or vibration of a Maryada Purush, or a person who is as dignified from the Surya Raghuvamsha, who who was an incarnation of Vishnu. So when you repeat that name over and over again, normally we repeat when we say hello, Saraswati here, hello. So you say your name, and when you say your name, you are uttering it that many number of times. Everywhere you write that name, everywhere you, so you keep remembering that name. And when you remember that name, you naturally have some kind of a connection to the vibration of that sound, that word, that, and so it carries that weight of that word. That is why when we say, when we speak, think before you speak, because words have weight. When you utter a word, it hurts a person. It conveys a certain meaning to the other person who receives it. And meaningful words have tremendous influence on another person. But again, when we, that is why they say, fake it till you make it. Why do they say? Because even if you are not able to sync with that meaning or the vibration of that word, still keep repeating it. Ultimately, it will reach you. When it will reach you, when your awareness gets connected to that word, when your when you become conscious of that word. Now, why are words not taking that same impact today? Why? Because words these days, we communicate through an instrument, which is an electrical medium. It only carries frequencies. It does not carry vibration. Vibration comes from consciousness, awareness that is connected to your soul. This is just tape recorder. Ultimately, when a tape recorder, when we know the cracked CDs, when it goes, it keeps repeating the same rubbish over and over again. So it has it it will carry sound, it will carry the sound, it will reach you for that moment. However conscious you're aware or listening properly, it will reach you, means you will be able to receive that signal. But how much of the weight of transmission reaches you depends on the consciousness, which is not there in this instrument. That is why even when we learn, read everything through this mobile and through social media, it doesn't register for long. That is why we are flitting from one thing to another. Even mobiles, today this was last year's mobile. Now today another this flip mobile has come up. So you're constantly wanting to change because this doesn't register. It has not registered in our antakaran at all. So it has not given us the same impact. So I'll say, this is what is this? This is the same thing as the previous mobile. Let me buy a new one. It may be an upgraded version. Upgraded of what? Of the same thing. So we need to realize that there is no replacement to the human touch. However much you do artificial intelligence, it is still what it is, artificial. You may be using certain programs, you may be using already done research, stored data, stored material. Its impact will depend only upon its connection with your consciousness. A 3-day program has been started by Mind Valley on artificial intelligence, and great speakers. In fact, the very people who invented these kind of this artificial who prepared those programs and those apps and those upgrades and everything, and tested it and spread it to all the engineers and everybody. That program is going on. I could listen to only 3 sessions. After that, I got sick and tired. Because, see, the same, and they were teaching that same economics which we learned in college, which we learned directly from that professor. Now that same thing, they have put it as a program, and they wanted to apply that quickly without understand what goes behind it, the process that goes to come to that level. Your operating system is not upgraded to that. It is just like patches. You fix patches whenever in a software program something goes wrong, when some bug it gets affected by a bug and it gives a wrong result as against what it was programmed for, you fix a patch. So it is just like patches in our antakaran, in our subtle energy system. It breaks the flow of the natural energy in our body. This artificial intelligence may speed up your work, and ultimately, what are they using it for? Chat GPT. Chat GPT, you give them certain words or instructions, and it gives you certain results. Like according to how you feed it, the word prompt that you give. If you say, please give me a detailed workflow for for my day. I start my day at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I have to do this. I have to go to work. I have to go to or I have to go to first gym and then work, and then I have this board meeting. And you specify certain things, and then you give me an itinerary. Okay, you give this word prompt with all the detailed instructions, or you may even put in your air ticket attachments to that chat GPT project, and it will give you a detailed itinerary for the whole day. Nobody even thinks, right? What if a traffic jam lead doesn't even reach you to the airport? It's all there in the itinerary, no doubt. And then you expect it to work with clockwork precision. And then suddenly one mountain falls on the way, or one building collapses, your bridge collapses. Nothing is accounted for. Okay, that is God willed, or you can say circumstances beyond which could not have been anticipated. But even simple things as your own health, even by picking up your briefcase and just walking down the door, your foot just gets caught in the mat outside the door, and you fall down. Finish. Half an hour delay. Everything is gone haywire. So here we need to know that certain things only can be used when we can use artificial intelligence for certain applications. But here, what are they doing? They are even using Chat GPT for monitoring the food that you eat. Means you place, you give food, you place the food on the plate, and you take photos, you feed the computer that this is what I'm eating the whole day. Okay, morning sandwich, even this some pizza for mid meal or whatever. All of that you feed, and then the chat GPT gives you back. This is all the junk that you're eating. It contains zero proteins. It contains zero this. It contains all this much amount of calories, and that's why you're overweight. So, and then it says, instead of this, you should give this. You should eat this. Okay, it tells you include yogurt, you include blueberries, and you include this and that, and so then you'll have 23% proteins in your meal. You'll have this much amount of vitamins and all the micronutrients you'll have and everything. It gives you a fresh chart. This is what your artificial intelligence is giving you. This is the same thing that what a nutritionist has been giving you. This is the same thing that your gym instructor has been telling you, or the nutritionist in your gym. Now you want a machine to give you all of that because you don't want to visit that gym, you don't want to visit that nutritionist, you don't want to go here and there and pay different people, and so you invest in a bomb on a regular subscription for a chat GPT, paid subscription for giving detailed analysis. You may have to go in for pro version. And all in all, sitting on your desk, you want all of this ready-made. And then what? To order this yogurt, blueberries, and things like that, you need another app. Ordering for them, somebody will deliver, and you want to relax. Ultimate purpose is, I want to have a vacation. Everything is organized, and I want to enjoy myself with my family. When do we actually enjoy with the family? When we communicate with the family, when we discuss or do things together, cook together, eat together. Here you are sitting all alone, all with an app, a mobile app, and expecting all of it ready-made, तैयार बने बनाए तुम्हारा सामने screen में. That also doesn't register. You need every day new itinerary prepared, a new list prepared. Because there is no printout, there is nothing physical, everything is digital. So this is where we are going with artificial intelligence. You're doing the same thing. You can't avoid eating, right? Same, you have to eat. And you know what you're supposed to eat. But you expect another application, a chat GPT, to give you a detail of what you're supposed to eat. So what is different about it? You're already isolated yourself. And happiness is in relation. Now you want to be related to apps. You want to be related to programs rather than people. It's only your happiness comes from relation to people, not to programs. Get that? You must use it only as a tool to the extent necessary, where necessary, and where we can use our intelligence, which is banging you all the time, telling you this is what you're supposed to, this you don't eat. It is actually repelling you from what is kept in front of you. And we don't listen to that. And then we listen to a chat GPT which says you don't have to eat this. And then you throw all that stuff into the waste dustbin. And then you order something fresh, something different, what chat GPT is telling based on what is already fed into its system. But your system is new. Every day it is new. You are filled with different emotions daily. You are evolving with this, what is going on with the world around you. Each news or each incident in the world around you, some building collapses, some political parties creating noise, some political parties has messed up the economy, and your emotions are reacting differently. And here you are sitting with a chat GPT says eat yogurt and blueberries, and you have to go somewhere to order them. What you'll immediately do? You'd prefer to have a hot cup of coffee and, and get some sanity into the head, right? You'd want to think clearly. For that, you need to be with yourself, with your presence, not with another instrument. See, you're avoiding people because you don't want their interference in your life. You have divorced your wife, you have kept your children in the hostels, and you have kept parents in the old age home. Everywhere, everybody has been fixed, and you prefer to be left alone. And here you are with another app who's supposed to guide you. You don't want to be with yourself. And then you run away from problems. Prefer to escape the problem. When you take an assistance of a mobile to help you to fix it, it is an escapism because you don't want to think. You lost the capacity to think. You have lost the capacity to understand what your body is responding to the nature around you. Ayurveda or any natural food science, even what the ChatGPT is going to say is, eat which is conducive to your body which your body doesn't reject but can imbibe. But now blueberries are not found in India. It may be the natural vegetation of some other country. Instead of eating what is in season, instead of being with the season, what the season produces, we want to eat something which is suitable for some other country, for some other climate conditions, for some other lifestyle. A sportsman may need 30% of proteins in his diet, or 30 grams of so much amount of grams according to his height and weight. But an ordinary person, even if a person is the middle age or even a senior citizen, he will not be able to digest that much amount of protein. Then it will get clogged up here and there in the system. So eat according with awareness. I remember the yoga book say you have to chew your food 32 times according to the number of teeth in your mouth. Irrespective of, even if it's fallen, at least 32 times you have to chew and consciously chew. Then only that food gets absorbed easily through your system. We just swallow it. We prefer smoothies because we can swallow it. It doesn't need chewing. But if you would have noticed, when you chew, your brain starts functioning better. Because the nerves are directly connected to your brain, your teeth, the root canal. Have you done a root canal treatment? They insert beneath the root and you get a headache. The pain in the head lasts for 2-3 days after doing a root canal treatment. The root, the moment you chew your food, you bite your food, the juice from your brain, the neurons that connect to the juice glands beneath in your jaws releases the juice. Why don't you appreciate the natural operations of your own mouth and help the brain to function in a natural way? And then you want to fit in some, what is that called? Neuro something into your brain to be able to function 10x times or 100x times more efficiently, to directly receive the programs which is fed in the computer, respond to electronic stimulations or whatever. Your brain, as it is equipped with all of it, more of it than we even realize. When you have a headache, try eating some nuts, hard nuts, not the soaked ones. See, the juice starts flowing from your mouth and the brain starts functioning immediately. You get alert because it's like a massage to the internal, the cerebellum and cerebrum. We don't need any artificial stimulations. So yesterday I had said that we will have discussions. This has already gone into a discussion. So here we were speaking about the sons of the 24 daughters of Daksha Prajapati. Buddhi son, Siddhi son, how Siddhi son gives Siddha. Kirti sons was Yasha Kirti, fame, Yash, success. See, the names are related to to what you will get actually the results. They were all sons of Dharma. Then next was Kama. Kama begot two sons, Harsha and Ananda. Actually, Kama is desire. You'll get happiness and bliss, joy. They were all happiness bestowing sons of Dharma. Then there was an unhappiness bestowing progeny who was called Adharma. The son Adharma was married to daughter Himsa, violence, a couple. They were created from Brahma's back. They had a son named Anruta, that is, which is not true, that is, which is falsehood. A daughter named Nikruti. Nikruti, wrong action or immorality. Their son was Bhaya, fear. They also had a son named Naraka, hell, and two daughters, Maya and Vedana, that is deceit or illusion and grief. From Bhaya and Maya was born a son, the destroyer of living creatures, Mrityu. The offspring of Vedana, that is pain, and Naraka was Dukha. So typical names, and this is not written in the 21st century. This was written in the Satya Yuga, Kruta Yuga. So apt. And I don't think all these emotions might have been there even in those days, because it was where there was 100% intelligence. Men was, people, human beings were using their 100% knowledge. Now we can say we are using only 5%, 2%, whatever percent of our knowledge or intelligence. But we can see all these are the results. The offspring of Vedana and Naraka was Dukha, sorrow, and was the cause of worldly sorrows. Then Vyadhi, disease, Jara, Shoka, Trishna, Krodha were the offsprings of Mrityu. They are all the inflictors of misery. That is your disease, death, decay, sorrow, thirst, anger. So these were all progeny of Adharma. So the others were unable, the remaining people were unable to procreate. Some of them were impotent, you can say. They were not able to procreate. So then he goes on to further describe, I shall now tell you the progeny of the remaining 11 daughters. These were the first 13 daughters. Now the remaining 11 daughters of Daksha Prajapati. Sati was married to Rudra. Khyati was, you remember Rudra? And the third eye, the son born out of the forehead of Brahma when he was angry at Narada. So when that was Rudra with 5 heads. He was the Ardhanarishwara, that Shakti and Purusha in one person, one embodiment. He was that Rudra. So now Sati, then after that, Shakti got separated from the Ardhanarishwara, that Rudra, and she got wed to that Rudra. Sati was born as Sati to Daksha Prajapati and was wed to Rudra. Khyati, her sister, was wedded to Bhrigurishi. Sambhuti was wed to Marichi. Smriti was wed to Angiras. Preeti was wed to Pulastya. Pulaha was wed to Kshama. Santati was wed to Kratu. Anusuya was wed to Atri Rishi. Urja was wed to Vasishta. Swaha was wedded to Agni. Daksha offered Swadha to Pitaras at the command of Brahmadeva. So imagine these were those rishis, mind-born sons of Brahma, and who created the progeny out of Shakti, who was born as 24 daughters to Daksha Prajapati, and they created this world. And it is from them that all the Gotras and everything from their lineages that all these Gotras were created and who are existing right now, even across the world. We need not say that this is confined to India, because even if you say a Maharashtrian surname as a Shimpi, means a cobbler, according to the kind of occupation he was given, that particular, and he will have that particular lineage. Similarly, the cobbler name is also a surname in the English. Some of them are, you can have all these kinds of surnames, Hunter, and we find these surnames even in the Western countries. So it is not that it is this, it is civilization, a human civilization. At that time, it was all together. In fact, this continents had not separated. It was one huge landmass. So there was a free movement of people across the worlds, across the nations. There were no nations, you can say, or there were all many nations, kings like kingdoms. So this is a universal phenomenon that is explained here, describing the qualities which were personified by the people who procreated, and their progeny spread across the human civilization. Now I will narrate the lineage of Daksha Prajapati. From Sati, Shiva means Rudra, fathered a valiant son, Kartikeya. This was in the next rebirth of Sati as Parvati. Vidhata appointed him to the post of Senapati. Kartikeya was the chief of the armies of the Devas, Senapati. From Khyati, Bhrigu had a daughter named Lakshmi, who became the wife of Narayana, Vishnu. Dhata and Vidhata, the sons of Khyati, became the son-in-laws of Meru. The daughters of Meru, Ayati and Niyati, was given in marriage to Dhata and Vidhata. They bore the two eminent sons named Mrukanda and Prana. Mrukanda, from him, Markandeya Rishi, and who Prana, respectively. Mrukanda had a famous son, Markandeya. The son of Prana was Vedashiras. Marichi's wife was Sambhuti, who gave birth to a son called Purnamasa. He was known for his four virtuous daughters, Krishi, Vrishti, Krishti, and Apachiti. Purnamasa bore two sons, Virajas and Parvata. From Pulaha, Kshama begets Karmashreshta, Varyana, and Sahishnu, the best of Munis. The fourth son was Vankavinas, who was endowed with the luster of from penance. So this was the lineage of Daksha Prajapati. From each of this, you can say Markandeya. We have the Markandeya, the son Markandeya, who asked the question to even Yamadharmaraja. So we have Upanishads, we have Itihasas based on each of them. Not only them, but the lineage, their progenies, and how they spread what was originally unmanifest and which was brought as buddhi. This buddhi, the intelligence, or combined with gunas, sattu guna, rajo guna, tamo guna, in various permutations and combinations, descended or dissected itself into all these kinds of emotions, values, virtues, and each of them has their own characteristic, has their own kind of a set of activities that come from that kind of emotion. Now, a person, say Niyati, a person who's very regular, a disciplined person, he will have a certain kind of a character. So this was the lineage of Daksha Prajapati. Now I shall narrate the lineage of Atri Rishi. Atri was married to Anusuya. Anusuya, the daughter of Daksha Prajapati, was married to Atri Rishi, had three sons, Soma, Durvasa, and Yogi Datta. You can know the immensity of these influences. Chandra, the moon as a human being was born to Anusuya. Now, when we speak of astrology, we study the impact of the moon. In fact, they go to micro this every phase of the moon. Every day, moon is of a different sized crescent. How much it influences our emotions. Chandra emotion influences the vegetation because it is in the light of the moon, that the nutrients absorbed by the trees is converted through the process of osmosis and becomes goes as chlorophyll to the leaves. See, these were our forefathers. Remember the lineage to which you belong. Kauravas belong to the Chandra lineage, Chandravamsha they were, and where they got themselves into. Durvasa Rishi. Durvasa, incarnation of Mahavishnu. And Yogi Datta. Datta, actually, you can say Shiva, in the middle is Shiva, and then Brahma and Vishnu on other side, on the either side. So three together, they form Datta. The Shiva, the Datta as a united form, you can say, union of all three qualities. All three sons were personifications of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankara. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankara, actually, they came to test the loyalty, pativrata, the dedication of Anusuya to her husband, how loyal she was to her husband. To test her, they came and they asked for food, and they said that you should feed us with your hands. And she said, okay. And with her yogic power, she reduced them to children, and then she fed. Parapurusha they were. So, and then the Shaktis of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they came running. They said, now release. And then she made them children. They said, we want our husbands back. And then they accepted. Yes, Anusuya's Pativrata. So that was how the greatness of Anusuya. Even today, when a woman's loyalty is tested, loyalty or her towards her husband, the example is given of Anusuya and Atri. It's only then that there will be no problems in marriage. There is no, extramarital affairs and things like that. And then you get problems in relationship, and then you can't, the marriage don't last. Okay, then all three sons were personification of Brahma, Vishnu. Then from Smruti, Angiras begot 7 daughters. Shinivali, Sulochana, Kuhu, Raka, Putri, Anumati, Pativrata. These were the names. From Preeti, Pulastya begot a son Devabahu, but not born from a womb, who was an eminent Brahmin by name Agastya. Agastya Rishi was born out of a kumbha, that is out of a pitcher. You can say a pot. From the water of that pot, Agastya Rishi was born. So in his previous birth, he was a Swayambhu Manvantara. So although he was a son of Pulastya Rishi, he was not born from her Preeti's womb, but born from the Kumbha. He also had a daughter, Sarvanga Sundara. So this goes on, lineages, we can it's all there in detail, and such details are there in several Puranas, not only in Mudgal Puran. You can find in Brahma Puran, Brahmanda Puran, Vishnu Puran, Shiva Puran, but then it will be aspects of relating to Shiva's family, or it would be relating to Vishnu's incarnations. Here you will find all of them together here, because Ganesha created all the 5. So you will get very much in detail, but then very brief mentions. Detailed stories of each of these will not be there. For that, you will have to go to the respective Puranas. So great. So now we'll halt here so that we don't want to get more information inside. Let us digest some of the information that we got. Any questions? Today I said today is Saturday, so open for discussion. What you would like to discuss? You may not hear from there if these people talk. I'll put it in gallery view. Hari is here, present here. Any discussion, anything you want to discuss today? Or you want to go into meditation? Okay, we'll do a brief meditation and get into that space where we can question ourselves. Take a nice deep breath and relax fully into your body. Breathe all the way deep into the widest part of yourself, into your hips. See that your feet are firmly planted on the floor. Hands on your lap, palms facing upwards, eyes gently closed. Put all the thoughts that have been wandering into your brain to one side and bring your awareness to your breathing. Just you want to be with your personal breath, which is bringing the life force into you. Unhindered. Just be with your consciousness. See how difficult it is to bring the mind, which is bombarded with marketing influence, and it's difficult to connect with your own self because the mind has been turned outward 100%, full 360 degrees. And to turn it inwards 360 degrees is an Herculean task. Let's begin by counting 1 to 10. Inhale and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, mentally count at this speed, at this rhythm. If the thoughts come, bring it back to your breathing. Let the mind only be engaged in counting. Bring your attention to your breathing. Slowly wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rub your hands together. Cup your palms and place it on the eyes. And gently open your eyes. Yes, Hari. Yes. Oh, Kumbham. Yes. Yeah. Nadi Josh. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Palm leaf. Mm. Mm. Yeah. 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 Mm. 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 Yes, this Agastya Nadi Jyotishi, which is there, it is it's very popular, not popular means those who have gone very deep into astrology, those who have become mm, have got lost fascination for this stars portal and all that, but they want to really dig deep into their own life. They go to and see this the even coming into contact with an Nadi Jyotishi, coming to know of its existence is ordained. That is, you will not come to know before it's time for that. Before you are ready enough to understand the significance and the depth of that Nadi Jyotishi, you will not even know its existence. Yeah. 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 No, and besides these August Nadi Jyotishis are spread across the country. They are there in different places. Each of them have got certain lot, means a particular quantity from their purvaj. This is passed on for like generation as a wealth hereditary heritage मीन्स वो जो कोई तो जन्म में they would have been a Jyotishi, and it is passed on from father to son, grandson, son. Means some sons are not interested in Jyotishi, so it lies in the trunk. Then somebody discovers, and then they dig deep. So ऐसा it is a पूर्वज से आया हुआ है, and each there are many families who have inherited this, and it's all from the Vaitishwaran Kovil in Kumbakonam, the original place, the original data center, the real authentic data center. It was there because Agastya Muni was sent by Shiva to spread the knowledge of Shaivism beyond Vindhya range, Vindhya Parvatam, beyond that. And Vindhya Parvatam had come in between. Oh, that it was going on, rising, rising, rising. And then, Agastya Muni was a little bit short person. And so he did a lot of penance and he fought with that Vindhya Parvat and he crossed over and he spread Shaivism to the south. And he has brought this knowledge of Jyotishi. There's a big story about his life also, Agastya Muni, and he brought this Nadi Jyotisham. And Nadi Jyotishi, Jyotish Shastra, it's a science. It is was in Kumbakonam region where you have 108 Shiva temples, 108 Vishnu temples, all the Navagraha temples are there. It's a Vaitishwaran is the where Shiva was in his as doctor, as Vaidya, who administered healing properties, all your herbs and through that kind of thing. And also even you get vibhuti there, which is medicinal. They sell it in small bottles and from the Yajnikund and all. And if you eat that, many of your diseases gets cured. I'd been to that, but I did my Nadi Jyotish there. See, even though we know of the existence of Nadi Jyotishi in Pune and everywhere, you don't get destined to go there. Even the destiny of choosing who will tell your story, who will read that palm leaf and how he will tell it to you is also predetermined. Nobody can tell, anybody cannot do that. It's only when the time comes, and sometimes, like as you said, you visited several times and you could not find, that person could not find your particular patti. So he had to go several visits to and get your this original thing from there. It happens. And so that's how, even if you hurry up, nothing will happen.
Like, there are 2 major incidences which he narrated.
Which tallied perfect. Mm.
In that month also.
Mm.
So I was not, I said, no, not. And in COVID, I got very good. I went to that stage and came back. I was in ICU. I never experienced, thought that I would do that. I never happened to me.
Mm.
And I give them cassette. Nowadays,
They give you on pen drive. They even put attachment. They give CDs also.
When I came out from them.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that after what's happening. Then I saw that it's happened. Same thing happened to my mother when I was. So it happened that suddenly and we were thinking normal. I came from the by the time I came, I told my father, another thing, fast come. And the doctor said, yes, so this, like, 2 or 3 incidents, it makes you believe, and sometimes in future also, one of those things which happen, also that also was so somehow I little believe in that.
No, you can believe it 100% also. But there is also something called the free will. Ichha is there. Our God has given us free will. So even if you know it, You can alter the course of this by your choice, which you feel is better. Always there will be choices. Future also it will come, but because future, it is written, no doubt, and the planetary conditions will become favorable. But if you don't want to choose it, you can let it go. Then you will get another path. That also is there in that. So we can choose our own destiny, and that is possible only on Earth. That's because the free will work only here.
But it doesn't, you say, like, no, doesn't become very complicated if you choose a path, whether the stars will also help us in that, and when is favorable. Others, if we stretch more difficult, it's coming up with the world.
Yeah, that is it is our choice. It is our choice. Then if you have sufficient anukula, see, that is why now we should choose which is natural to us, which is favorable. We flow with the tide. If we flow against the tide, you'll face difficulties. It is just like swimming. So if you feel that it is suiting your nature, your liking, your character, and then you go in that direction, it will be favorable. See now Shivaji Maharaj. Shivaji Maharaj wanted to become a sannyasi. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj wanted to become a sannyasi. Whereas the Samartha Ramdas, he he was destined to become a king. He said, you will become a better king. You don't become a sannyasi. I will become the sannyasi. And he didn't want to become a sannyasi, but he was destined to become a king. Ramdas, Samartha Ramdas. Samartha Ramdas would have become a king. He was destined to become a king, but he said, I want to become a sannyasi. Even in his marriage, when that Savadhan, they say no. So then he ran away. He ran away from the mandap, and he said, I don't want to get married. Till that stage, it had come. He ran away, and then he met Shivaji and all, and then he said, see, I want to become a saint. I want to do sannyas only. I don't want to get married. In fact, they say he was an avatar of Hanuman. He established Maruti temples everywhere. As Hanuman is a brahmachari. Imagine making Hanuman to get married. So it was like that. And then he found Shivaji and he said, Shivaji, he told, you take my role, mera role tum karo. And he said, I will guide you. And he was always the Rajguru of Chhatrapati Shivaji. Means Chhatrapati, any doubt, anything he wanted, he would do this. And Samarth Ramdas would just manifest there. Matlab, they wouldn't have to travel and go to meet and all. Just Shivaji Maharaj would think, and next day he would come there. He would land there, and he would take his advice. And that way he did a lot of, I mean, I've been to, in Sajjangad was Samarth Ramdas's ashram. In fact, on uh, when I went, that this was way back in 1982. At that time, there on the one side of that mountain is almost vertical, and there is a small passage which runs along the middle. Suppose the mountain is like this. Somewhere in the middle, there is one a passage, a cut from the mountain and free fall valley, and through that passage there was one cave on that vertical side which was L-shaped. I have gone inside that cave where he used to sit and meditate, and in that cave he could see the sunrise from opposite. Means it was a valley. This particular side of that mountain now that is closed because people went and then some fell off, and all that, some problems and all happened. But when we had gone, I had gone with Swami Satsarupananda. We had gone a few three four of us. We were students in that Gita class. So we went there and we went. It was open. We went. We had to actually light a candle, but that candle was getting off. That battery of the we had a torch, of course. Then we went inside also. It's an L shape like that. It was. inside, he could go that side, but little pani sab tha udhar thoda, and we came out. But then now they have banned that in fact that entire thing, there is no way that way at all. They have redirected, taken out another route which comes to the Sachangarh mountain. Samarth Ramdas was in that, he used to meditate and sit in that particular cave and meditate.
I heard that someone used to always take.
Yes, yes, yes. So these are all destiny. You can change the destiny, provided you are that much confident of yourself and be and prepared to face it. Prepared to face, do the sadhana, face it, and then in that also challenges will come. But you must be sufficiently confident for that. And you know, at a certain point of time, you'll get your soul's support for that. Souls and your previous ancestors, your lineage ka support milta hai. And then you cannot go wrong. Although because see, in our evolution, we develop many strengths. You are good at sports also. I'm good at politics also. I'm good at this also. But where I will go? You need to choose. Right. So you may be good in that, but not necessary that you should take it up as a full time.
Does the age matter?
It does the age matter? It influences. It influences our decision. Now, when you are young, now for example, if Sunil Gavaskar maybe have been said distinction student, but he chose cricket. So the age mattered. What influenced him to take up that? Otherwise, he would have become a doctor or a scientist. So what you choose will depend on where your interest lies at that age factor. But today, if you see, I may be very good in politics, in political thinking or analysis of politics. But my interest is in spirituality. My soul is drawn towards spirituality. I love reading books. Just fall on my lap. Like I have to just open this book and I'll have a reference for another book written in this book, and I'll go and buy that book. So then, which I give more preference to. So that will influence your decisions at which stage in life you're in. Now, for example, Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi, supposing if you say um, he has he has he's a good sportsman. Means he is good in diving, what's that, skydiving and whatnot. He has done diving into the sea, and he's a pilot also. He's got so many skills. Now he's doing, what is he doing in politics? And he has got a good engineering mind, very good analytic, means he can understand the working of machines very well. But then, and he's got into this caste analysis, and kahan kis lapde mein pad gaya, aisa we get to think. His age is on his side. His family's reputation is on one side. So what choice he makes is will be influenced by all of those factors. Had he been a normal person, he would have said, I will go and join Microsoft. He wouldn't have bothered with all this. But then his family and then the whole country is after him. उसको छोड़ता ही नहीं. Even if he wants to be left alone, उसको छोड़ता नहीं है. So he's drawn into this, no? These factors influence. Although if you listen to YouTube, in YouTube, there are so many places where these astrologers say that Rahul Gandhi will not become PM. He will not, is destined. Uska destiny में ही नहीं ये नहीं लिखा हुआ है. But everything goes to show that he'll be the next PM. Means वैसा destiny work करता है. It's a free will. Everybody has a choice to make, and then you see, when once you take a one step forward, they say the universe conspires to make it happen. All forces join together to make it happen. That's how the course, it's not uniform. It goes, the flow, it's a natural flow of forces and energy. So that is why always when there is a bad trend, a tendency of something which is wrong, there is always a disruption, a big forceful disruption which will change that course. And like this, then we find meaning in planetary alignment, and and then you find, yes, there is a, this was, it looked as though that was it. but then suddenly you find some planetary influences coming, and then the entire river changes its course, or someone like Trump comes up in another part of the world. But that was not, it was not unusual that we are now trapped in this trade, I mean, in this trade agreement. Um, 5 years ago, in 2019, when Modi decided, wanted to win the prime minister, that is 5 years before, not even 24 elections. Before that only, when he again promised for 5 years, 5 years, when after the COVID, he promised of during COVID was in 21. Yeah, COVID, he promised 5 kgs of this and sugar, rice, and grains and everything. And COVID was over. In 1.5 years, 2 years, it was over and it had to stop. But in the next election, he says, the next 5 years, I'll give you free before the 24 elections. That was way down in 23 or something. He had decided that in 24 that will be his USP. That for all these poor people and for all the then they made this women eligibility, and they had enrolled all the people, for so many crores of people, 20 crores or so 18 or 20 crores will get free for next 5 years. Okay, next 5 years, Modi ki guarantee. That is how he won, even though with less, but he won because of that. At that time only, he had already made arrangement with US for supply of that grains. Now we are stuck in this trade deal, no? Why we are not able to negotiate? Because he had won that elections, already agreed, forward agreement, hai, forward contract. It had come in the Economic Times. In 23, just search the archives and see. It had mentioned that already with, I think, us samay Trump tha. The Trump, no, Trump or not Trump, I don't know who was there, but with the government, Biden might have been there. Biden was there at that time, no? So, unke saath, when before winning 5 years elections, it was on the guarantee that they would supply if naturally food shortage होगा, means ऐसा नहीं कि 5 साल हर साल उतना ही फसल निकलेगा, and you give free for 20 crores of people free. And then means the burden of budget is there, no? Means the billing, I mean the provision in the budget. They had already entered into forward contract that they will ensure that it will come here. Now, why is he enforcing food grain, cattle grain, agriculture? वही उसका फंडा है ना, means you buy planes, you these are the वही stuck up है ये agreement, trade वो 25 बार बोलता है ना. फॉरवर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट उसी में था, उस समय ही आया था पेपर में. आई हैड रेड इट. So now you can't go back on your word. And वो negotiate ही नहीं हो पा रहा है और ये घूम रहा है इधर उधर. And then of course फिर उसका भी प्लान था एजेंडा. His agenda is also working in another direction, and then all the whole world में कुछ agenda है. So when we have to fit into all this, it's becoming very complicated. And for so long, they are not able to elect their own leader because somebody may be objecting. I had not agreed for that. ये जो पहले जो 4-5 साल के लिए वो उस समय वो एग्री नहीं किया होगा उसके मन में, some cabinet minister or whoever is there. We don't know this, no, what is holding them back. Yes, this conversation is going somewhere. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Prasad, take. Otherwise, I'm only eating. Yes, सूरी सर, आप इधर नहीं आए,
बहुत लेट उठा।
लेट उठा। देखो आप, ऑफ कोर्स आज बहुत बारिश भी था, बारिश है भी आज, इट लुक्स लाइक अ रेनी डे।
That trip to Bombay is still having a
His effect, no?
effect on my body, and
Hmm.
slight feverish.
ओ, तो आपको कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉल मिलता है ना, वो ले लो ना, थोड़ा एनर्जेटिक, एनर्जी जल्दी मिलेगा। इट्स लाइक सॉल्ट,
Yeah,
टेकिंग इन सॉल्ट ओनली, नो,
yeah.
इंस्टेड ऑफ टेकिंग एन एंटीबायोटिक।
No, I have not taken antibiotic.
हाँ,
I have not taken antibiotic.
ओके,
One day I took crocin,
हाँ,
only one day, one tablet.
हम्म,
Slowly it is reducing.
हम्म, हाँ गोविकर,
Now it's okay.
हम्म, anything you have to say, Govikar?
Nothing.
What about that coffee machine?
Yeah, he's yet to come.
I didn't get a link or anything. छोड़ दिया मैंने.
What is that?
I didn't get on the website any link and things like that. I just let it go. You told me to search on the web, no?
No, forget it. He'll be coming tonight or tomorrow. Then you can have a word with him. He'll guide you. If you want to, what my daughter
What you
said,
said?
you know,
Huh?
daughter told me, Papa, that is cat potty. I said, my God. Then she showed me everything. That boy is eating all this cat potty. I said, good. Let him do whatever he wants. I will not have it. But people relish it, you know.
Huh?
People relish it.
Maybe, you know, we'll have to, I just want to dig deep into it. Just study it for the sake of studying, because I
Talk
have
to
a
him.
habit of studying all industries when what all they do. वो habit हमारा जो industry focus आता था ना, in Canara Bank, there is a research and analysis wing, no? They do the industry focus they bring. Have you seen? You were in advanced department?
No.
No. Okay, in advanced department, every month or every fortnight also one magazine used to come, industry focus. So they used to do research on different industries, steel industry, cement industry, construction, agriculture, fruits, food processing, anything and everything. And it used to come periodically. Just they used to keep on sending it, a glossy picture with all complete analysis of the trend, right? And what are the laws pertaining to that? What is the trend, and the major companies, and what is the future, and everything. It used to come. So we used to read. It used to come to the manager, no? So वो सारा हम पढ़ते थे. And otherwise also I used to, in other this also I used to go to the advanced department, pick that up and sit and read, and at least depending on if I'm giving a particular loan on that industry, I'll read that. If I'm giving a loan to a particular say leather production or something, or bags or anything related to that, I'll go and study that industry focus. So वो एक habit बन गया था. If I don't get it in industry focus, I used to buy these research reports by there was one company in Pune only. They used to publish reports on various industries. Say 250 rupees का एक report बनता था. how to prepare projects for every type of unit, MSME unit. So then in that, when the project report, they used to do an analysis of that particular field, that particular industry, if it was tailoring or cloth making or garments industry or anything. तो उसका reports मिलता था. That was very interesting. Chalo then, happy weekend. See you on Monday. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.